Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newstrack. I'm Rahul. Did the West Bengal police make a deliberate attempt to underplay and hide the potential gang rape angle in the Kolkata rape case? Also, why are all the highly feisty liberal women MPs of the Trainee government so silent or barely speaking on this issue when the travesty has happened under their noses? They're very quick to pounce on episodes that happen elsewhere in the country. Why this very deep, dark silence when it comes to one of your own? Why say so little and so late? All that and more is my top focus on the Newstrack.
Kolkata rape murder triggers outrage. Gang rape theory intensifies. Abhaya gang raped to death. One accused held. Are there more?
नहीं, मेरी लड़की ने सुसाइड कर दिया है, ये खबर आई है हॉस्पिटल से। मैंने कहा सुसाइड किसने कहा, कैसे? बोले नहीं, उन्होंने कहा कि ये सुसाइड हुआ है।
5 her parents told suicide. Cover up bid by Kolkata police. That is our big focus on Newstrack.
Let me take you through all the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Rahul Gandhi hits out at India bloc ally Mamta Banerjee over the Kolkata rape and murder case. Says the attempt to shield the accused raises serious questions on the local administration. Mamta Banerjee says she's done all that she can, declares she wants the accused to be hanged. Army Captain Deepak Singh killed in action in Jammu's Doda district. One terrorist eliminated in the encounter, one AK-47 and a M4 rifle recovered. Yogi Adityanath snipes at pseudo-liberals denying minority attacks in Bangladesh. Says opposition silent for fear of losing their vote bank. UPCM says what happened during partition is happening again. Former Delhi Deputy CM speaks to India today after being released from jail. Manish Sisodia claims proof against him in the liquor scam case is fabricated. Wrestling Federation of India chief blames wrestlers' protest for Olympics medal fiasco. Says protests cost India at least 6 medals. The gruesome Kolkata rape and murder case has triggered nationwide outrage. India Today's coverage has forced the spotlight on the investigation. Was the 31-year-old trainee doctor gang raped to death? Why were her parents told that their daughter had died by suicide? Is there a deliberate cover-up bid? And if so, why is the West Bengal government not being more proactive in trying to ensure that the investigation is widened and that all angles are actually uncovered?
Raped, strangled, throttled, mutilated, and murdered. This is how a young doctor's life was cut short within the walls of Kolkata's RG Car Hospital. The CBI has taken over this probe and one prime accused is in the probe agency's custody. But were more people involved? A doctor who accessed the post-mortem report cited the excessive liquid found in the victim's vaginal swab to point at the likelihood of a gang rape.
इतना अमाउंट ऑफ सीमेंट अगर वहां से मिला है तो ये जरूर बोलते एक आदमी का काम हो नहीं सकता, इसके और भी आदमी जुड़ा हुआ है, ये गैंग रेप होने का पॉसिबिलिटी ज्यादा है.
It's actually quite surprising that amount of semen ejaculate is there on the lady, even if it's 2 people. You know, it sounds sort of over the top. It sounds a large amount going by it, and I think we need to investigate this further as to how 150 ml of semen is deposited in the vagina at one go and still lies there. We need to find out how many people did this deed, did the assault, did the rape.
A victim's family member has narrated how the victim's body was found, revealing the torture she suffered.
मेरी लड़की ने सुसाइड कर दिया है, ये खबर आई है हॉस्पिटल से। मैंने कहा सुसाइड किसने कहा, कैसे? बोले नहीं, उन्होंने कहा कि ये सुसाइड हुआ है। एक पेरेंट्स जिनकी बच्ची 31 इयर्स ओल्ड की ऐसी खत्म हो जाती है, उनको 3 घंटा खड़ा रखा, और ये दोनों हस्बैंड वाइफ अंदर जाते हैं सेमिनार रूम में, और ये पापा अपने डेड बॉडी ऑफ द गर्ल जिसके मुंह में खून था फोटो खींच के लाके मुझे दिखाते हैं। उन बच्ची का शरीर में कोई कपड़ा नहीं था, पैर दोनों राइट एंगल में मिला गया, राइट एंगल में, एक पांव बेड के इस तरफ, एक पांव बेड के इस तरफ मिला गया। जब तक पेल्विक गर्डल नहीं टूटता है, चश्मे को कूटा गया, जिसके वजह से आंखों से खून निकल गया। गले में गला दबाकर मारा गया।
The plot is thickening in the Kolkata murder rape horror. India Today accessed first images of the crime scene. This is the seminar hall where the victim was brutally raped and murdered. A renovation sanctioned just opposite the crime scene has raised more eyebrows.
जो इंस्टीट्यूशन में ये काम हुआ है, वो कर्तृपक्ष आकर एफआईआर नहीं लॉन्च करेगा और प्रोटेस्ट रिनोवेशन का ऑर्डर देगा। इट इज वेरी ग्राउंड ऑफ सस्पिशियस एंड ऑल्सो कोर्ट में जो ऑर्डर कोर्ट ने ऑलरेडी बोला है कि इट इज द वेरी ग्राउंड ऑफ सस्पिशन रिगार्डिंग द हायर अथॉरिटीज।
The Mamata Banerjee government and the hospital are being accused of a cover-up bid.
There is absolutely no reason why the scene or the believed scene of the crime should have been destroyed in this manner. Was it to sort of mislead the investigation, or was it to cover up the actual crime which happened over there?
The big question remains, were there more perpetrators involved? And if there were, who is shielding whom? Bureau Report, India Today.
Those fighting for justice for the 31-year-old trainee doctor are calling her Abhaya, fearless. But her rape and murder has exposed just how vulnerable the female staff have been at Kolkata's RG Kar Hospital. No on-call rooms, no washrooms, poorly lit areas, no proper security. Suryagni Roy reveals the horrors at this hospital.
This is the seminar room at Kolkata's RG Kar Medical College, where a 31-year-old trainee doctor went into rest after a 36-hour shift. The next morning, she was found dead. Her body was brutalized, bearing marks of grievous sexual assault. Women doctors who have trained and are still undergoing training at the RG Kar Medical College have their own horror stories to narrate.
The requirement is a minimum amount of security guard and there should be a minimum amount of hours of duty so that हम लोग को कहीं भी सोना ना पड़े। यहाँ पे कहीं भी सोने का भी आपका प्रोसीजर नहीं है। मैं सो रही हूँ, वहाँ पे पेशेंट पार्टी अंदर आके नॉक करके अंदर आ जाते हैं, ये होता है।
हम लोगों का जो वर्किंग आवर शिफ्ट होता है उसके ऊपर तो मैं कुछ बोलना ही नहीं चाहती। इट्स लाइक इनह्यूमन, मोर देन 24-48 आवर्स एट अ स्ट्रेच वी आर वर्किंग। एट द एंड ऑफ आवर वर्किंग आवर्स द बेसिक मिनिमम नीड that is that we desire to have a proper room जहाँ पे at least we can sit for some time, let alone sleeping. That also we don't have.
Absence of on-call rooms with washrooms, ill-lit areas that women staffers avoid after dark, CCTV cameras that don't work, and inadequate security measures leave women doctors very vulnerable.
The basic requirement is a clean washroom, the first thing I would say. Wherever we work, we don't have that proper facility. Be it a room, we don't have a proper washroom in our working place. Security sleeps at night peacefully. We have late night shifts, so we came down at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. anytime we see the security is sleeping peacefully. There are 2 washrooms in one floor that you can use, and there are like 15 to 20 people in a floor. So it's a mess.
RG Kar Medical College has been a hospital of horrors. In August 2001, a 4th-year medical student, Soumitra Biswas, was found hanging in his room. The police closed the case as suicide, only to reopen it 3 months later after his parents alleged foul play. Students claimed that there was porn and prostitution racket running in the hostel. His classmates said Soumitra paid the price of challenging this dirty business where girls were photographed or their pictures superimposed on naked bodies. In 2001 too, there was anger and outrage. 23 years later, there is anger and outrage again. But will the horrors end at Kolkata's RG Kar Medical College? With Suryagni Roy, Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to go live to the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata. Joining us from there is my colleague Suryagni Roy. There's a protest taking place around him at this time. Suryagni, some of the doctors, the ex-doctors, the staff at the RG Kar Medical College, narrating really horrible stories. No place to sit, no rooms, no toilets, doctors being made to work long shifts. This is really snowballed into much bigger than just that one rape and murder case. It's got everyone's attention in Kolkata, in West Bengal and pan-India. Give our viewers a sense of what's happening around you on the ground at this moment.
Well, firstly, it is very important to tell all our viewers that majorly when we speak of facilities, especially in a hospital or in an educational campus, we just somewhere restrict ourselves with the thought of CCTVs. If the CCTV is working, then it's all fine. But when we spoke to the female the workers over here, especially the interns, the students, the doctors, they had their plight to share. 40 plus or 48 plus working hours back to back, no restrooms to go, the washrooms in the hostels are dirty. These are real sentiments of the on-ground people who are protesting over here. And it's not, as you mentioned correctly, that it's not only about one individual, it's about so many of them, the ones who are protesting. Behind me are the students who are still protesting. I just asked my camera person to just give you a look into this. They are still here. That poster is still here. We want justice. And this is, when we speak to them, it's very clear that it's not only for RG Kar. One more very important poster that has surfaced since last evening is this one. I'll just ask my camera person to pan and show. This is the poster. This was the first poster that was put yesterday. Justice for Abhaya. We remember the infamous Nirbhaya, rape. This one is being compared to that Delhi horror story, and it's being called Abhaya by the students of the RG Kar. There's another kind of a protest that's happening, and it's very, very interesting to report from here as well, because the protest that's happening behind me, it's by students of all the various colleges, mostly medical colleges, but other colleges are coming in. It's an apolitical one. Political parties are not being allowed to enter beyond this particular gate. There's a huge police deployment. What is important to see is that political parties, be it the BJP, the Left Front, even the Trinamool Congress, workers who were protesting, the Congress from day one, all these parties, they were protesting on the other side. So on the main road, you have the political parties protesting, and the students have made sure that no political colors or ideologies are entertained at their protest spot, because they feel that.
Thank you very much, Suryagni, for joining us. We'll come back to you for more. I want to go across to our guest joining us at this time. I've got Dr. Shreya Shaw, a postgraduate student at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. We've got Dr. Abhijit Chaudhary, distinguished professor at the Indian Institute of Liver and Digestive Sciences, one of the prominent doctors in Kolkata. Dr. Subarna Goswami is the Additional General Secretary of the All India Federation of Doctors, Government Doctors Association. She's one of the people who reviewed the postmortem and is really appalled by the fact that it wasn't apparent to the doctors that the semen that was present in Abhaya's body was much more than what could have come out of one person. Therefore, this could have been a case of gang rape, which was staring them in the face, but for various reasons, the probe wasn't widened to look for other accused who could still be out there somewhere, because the administration made it seem as if Sanjay Roy is the only person responsible. For political perspective, we have Monojit Mandal. He's a political analyst who leans towards Trinamool Congress. Tuhin Sinha is a national spokesperson of the BJP, and I have Swati Chaturvedi, a columnist and author. I want to go across to Shreya Shaw first, because from what I gather, Dr. Shaw, it seems that at the RG Kar Medical College, this isn't a one-off episode. The fact that doctors have very tough working conditions, that they aren't being properly taken care of, that there is a certain amount of harassment built into how the system operates. As someone who's on the ground currently part of this protest, can you tell the rest of the nation, people watching at this time, what the kind of difficulties that doctors go through and why you fear that unless we expand the probe, look at all angles, look for the other accused, that this may happen again at RG Kar or somewhere else?
Yes, of course, I would like to address to all the problems that we face as all healthcare professionals at this hospital, or rather most hospitals in this whole country. First of all, we come here to do our duties, and we are on duty for continuous 36 hours, 48 hours, and maybe some days even it will extend to 52 hours. So the lack of a proper rest room, adequate number of rest rooms in ratio, in proportionate to the number of doctors on duty, and washrooms, security, surveillance, and many other logistic problems are there that we face in most government colleges, healthcare facilities all across the country.
Okay, that's really terrible. The lack of proper systems to ensure that the doctors have a place to sit, they have a washroom, they should ideally have a place to rest. You heard what one of the doctors said, that you come out and where you're sitting, people just barge in, there is no privacy. This is just really painting a very terrible picture. Dr. Subarna Goswami, you reviewed the post-mortem report. Can you give our viewers a sense of why you think that the injuries suggest that more than one rapist is involved, that the semen sample suggests that there's more than one rapist? So explain why you think that the probe, in the way that it was carried out initially, was a complete botch up.
See, when we went to meet the parents of the victim, they showed us the post-mortem report, and the post-mortem report reflects multiple innumerable numbers of injuries. Like, her victim's body were full of abrasions and bruises almost everywhere. Blood was coming out from her eyes, from her nose, from her mouth, from her private parts, and from the nails also. The second thing is the amount of white, thick, viscid fluid collected from her private parts, inside the private parts. That is 151 grams. So even if the mucus and other tissues are, added to it, it's a huge amount, and that cannot come out from a single man. So we cannot rule out involvement of multiple men involved. That's one thing. Another thing is the police was claiming that she was murdered first and then the dead body was dead, but not the fact. That's not the fact. The post-mortem report says the other way around. There's all those injuries, all those brutalities happened ante-mortem. That is, first the girl was raped, maybe gang raped, or thereafter they murdered, he or they. We don't know how many people involved, but the police should interrogate all the possible suspects, right? So the people who had dinner with the victim, the people who were in the chest ward on duty on the chest ward that night. But the police till Monday, that 3-4 days, they didn't interrogate anybody, but the only one suspect. They were busy with finding his girlfriend's house, his in-laws' house, and everything, but they didn't even bother to interrogate. They
These
didn't
are
even bother to seal the crime scene. They kept it open to access anybody to access. The media went there, took the video picture, made it viral. And yesterday we found that they have started a college authority and the health department has started a renovation work in the crime scene. What is it? It is nothing but tampering, a deliberate attempt to temper the evidence.
Monajit Mandal, this just presents a very terrible picture about the West Bengal administration, led as it is by a feisty woman chief minister. Your government has been caught on completely the wrong foot. First, the administration tells the parents it's a case of suicide. The parents are made to wait for 3 hours to see the body. The marks indicate that there was brutal injury. The semen suggests that there were more than one rapist. The police arrest Sanjay Roy and then you say, okay, he's the guy, the case is closed. You don't look for the first several days at trying to expand the scope of the probe, and then renovation begins at the crime site. The crime site is not sealed. It's a free-for-all. Anyone can come there. All this seems either terribly incompetent and inept or deliberate. Which one is it?
Till yesterday, 34 people were interrogated. 16 were in the pipeline. They were supposed to be interrogated. You are an extremely responsible channel. Please cross-check, verify the facts before you transmit it.
I am extremely saddened, disappointed, and it's very difficult for me to speak on an issue which is horrendous for anyone. Nonetheless, the kind of misinformation that responsible...
No, which part of this is misinformation? Has renovation not started? Was the crime scene not sealed? Were the parents not initially told that this is a case of suicide? What of this is misinformation?
I expect better from you, Mr. Rahul Kanwal, when you have one versus the race, and I'm not defending anybody. I'm not even speaking on this horrendous issue. We are just looking for justice, and I'm trying to give you the right information which are coming from none other than the Chief Minister of the state, right? You want to believe in the Chief Minister of the state who just spoke, few minutes back about how many people were interrogated, the action of the police, or you want to believe a doctor who has got a definite political color? It's up to you. It's absolutely up to you. But the facts are there. Nonetheless, when the CBI has taken over the case from yesterday, we should wait till Sunday to see what has happened instead of blaming the government of West Bengal, which has done everything right. A stupendous job by the Kolkata police. They could arrest the main culprit within a span of few hours. They interrogated, repeating, this is a responsible statement. Please transmit them as it is, without adding any color. 34 people were interrogated, 16 were in the pipeline. That happened till yesterday before it was taken over by the CBI. Now,
why was the crime scene not sealed? Why was, why were personnel allowed all over the place?
The crime scene was sealed and the renovation was going on a different building. Your reporter has made it clear. The renovation was going on a different building, even that was stopped, right? That was stopped yesterday. But look at the kind of misinformation you are spreading. Are we looking for justice for this girl? When the Chief Minister is looking for justice. She called a rally on 16th of August. It's an apolitical rally seeking justice. And
okay.
the CBI...
Let Toheen Sinha respond to this, that this is largely being propped up by the opposition BJP. Some of the doctors who are speaking are giving a one-sided perspective because they have political motives, and that the full picture is not being presented, leading to facts being distorted and a one-sided perspective being created. He's also saying that 34 suspects were actually questioned before the CBI took over. So it's not like the probe stopped.
Well, Rahul, while the rape incident is extremely horrific, one of the most horrendous incidents one could come across in recent history, what makes it particularly the entire episode, the entire situation particularly more obnoxious is the brazenness of TMC leadership. The way they have been, the vehemence with which they have been defending the indefensible and the brazen attempts to shield the real culprit and to destroy evidence. When somebody who has conducted autopsy, a responsible person goes on record to say that it is impossible for the crime to have taken place or the crime to have been enacted by one person, who is Mamta Banerjee to say that we have caught the culprit? I think, that definitely Mamta Banerjee and the TMC leadership know something more about the case which you and I don't. And, there are larger questions. As the Home Minister of Bengal, as the Health Minister of Bengal, what kind of legacy has she created? A person like Sanjoy Ghosh, who goes around disguising himself as an employee of the police and thereby gains entry anywhere, even in a girls' hostel in midnight. Sandeep Ghosh, the dean of that hospital, who has presided over umpteen other similar corrupt incidents where people have been, where students have been driven to the brink of suicide, and then again he gets rewarded by another promotion just 4 days after the incident. I think, there is a bigger problem with the attitude of
Okay, I want to bring in Swati Chaturvedi because, what's also galling is the fact that a lot of these left liberal, intelligentsia, feisty MPs who are very quick to pounce on any incident where, things go wrong when they happen outside West Bengal were very conspicuous by their silence for the first several days. Now they've kind of put out a vanilla tweet mocking the, just vanilla tweet which is opposing what happened, expressing their horror, but it almost seems to have been done as a result of the public backlash which was questioning their galling silence. And even amongst the community, when people have questioned, some of these MPs have been blocking people off, completely intolerant and tone deaf towards the criticism.
Absolutely, Rahul. This is what has happened in Calcutta is possibly the worst nightmare. It's not even a nightmare. For a woman, there could be nothing worse than this. And for a party which says, we are women power, look at us, we are the, we are the model state of Bengal. You have MPs, women MPs, who claim that they, who've gotten to their places in Rajya Sabha and other places, claiming to be empowering women, talking about how much they've done for women, to now the only person they empowered is themselves. If somebody asks a question, do you block that person on social media for asking a question? Why can't a woman MP, it's a very simple question, why can't a TMC woman MP say that a rape and a murder of a woman is a rape and a murder of a woman? What is this convoluted, like you said, vanilla, nonsensical, mother and apple pie kind of denouement? It's complete nonsense. I mean, if you pride yourself on women, power and the fact that you speak for women, you empower women, you are literally Nari Shakti. You are saying that we are Kali, we are redemptive, we speak for women, we fight for women. Then why are you running scared? For 48 hours, we had this ghastly silence from this entire very vocal TMC brigade of women MPs who are all there in some way or the other waving the woman card saying, we work to empower women. And now we have this, very vanilla sort of denouncement saying this is wrong. Obviously, it's wrong. Nobody can justify it. And look, rapes can happen anywhere. Rapes can happen in Manipur. Rapes can happen in Kolkata. It is what happens after that is consequential. It is what happens after, which is actual law and order. What happened after here? There was a cover-up. We don't even know if it was a gang rape, for God's sake. This is a government headed by a woman's chief minister. And we still don't know. We still don't know whether this was a single rape or a gang rape. What could be worse? You're talking about women power, and this is what you're doing to the women in your state. I mean, I just saw your report on the state of the hospital. It is appalling. I mean, you don't have a restroom for trainee women doctors. What is going on? And then all these women, are they only vocal about themselves? Are they only vocal about the fact that their privilege and their powers shouldn't be taken away? They shouldn't be thrown out of parliament, while every other woman should just get the block on Twitter?
Dr. Abhijit Chaudhary, we are hearing different perspectives. The Trinamool government says that the BJP is propping up the protesters. The BJP says that's outrageous. There was a massive cover-up and the probe was botched up. As one of the prominent doctors of West Bengal and Kolkata, how are you looking at how the system failed Abhaya? Where all Were there mistakes at the level of the hospital, the police, the administration? What's your reading and what's your explanation for why doctors are so outraged by what this has happened, why this is being compared to Nirbhaya in Delhi?
Rahul, let me place this at the very outset that I'm party to the outrage. And so if in some way, not only me, every doctor, every sensible citizen of the state, of the country are right now coming out of agony, anguish, and anger. And as you know, the city's women have given a call for night vigil today all across the city and all across the state. I mean, the state is really in a parboiling state over the unfortunate incidents. The issue is, as we feel, that what has been done is probably was not warranted, and what was warranted and what was to be done has not possibly been done in the right way. And there is a deep perception in the medical fraternity as well as the common people that the hurry in which the body was disposed of, the hurry in which when everybody was telling that the local administration is trying to hide and trying to downplay or trying to have some foul play in the entire sequence of events, particularly the principal. There is a deep perception among the students, amongst the doctors, that somewhere the administration failed to bring sanity to that and to establish that the administration is acting in a sensible way, in a sensitive way. That there lies the problem. And right now, even today, the students are even after the CBI inquiry has been ordered by the court, even after the CBI.
You're trying to tell us, Manojit Mandal, that you're doing a fair job, but the likes of Dr. Shreya Shaw and the others aren't convinced. Even well-known doctors like Abhijit Chaudhary, they're all equally outraged. So you can't blame the media for misinformation. The fact is that your government's handling of this entire episode has really left a very bad taste in the minds of Kolkata is supposed to be one of the safest cities in the country for women. When something like this happens in Kolkata, it shakes the confidence of the entire citizenry.
I am as outraged as you people are. My only concern is that some of them are deliberately spreading misinformation, like what you just did to this doctor. The body was cremated by the family members of the people, and that with the permission of the family members. There was no hush up, no hurry, no cover up. You begin with the logic that there was a cover up when there was not. The police, Kolkata police, has never said that they had closed the case. Why have they said? I want to know. Have you seen them saying this? Did you follow the Twitter handle of the Kolkata police? Did you follow the press conference of the government? Wherever they said that they had closed the case, they could barely get 24 hours to probe. And within the 24 hours, they could do best.
Okay, let Naveen Sinha respond to this, that the Kolkata police, the West Bengal government never said that Sanjoy Roy was the only accused or that that's where the investigation would end. They said, we are still looking at more suspects, the probe is still on.
The very, post the death of, the unfortunate victim, the entire communication to her family began with the biggest lie that it's a suicide. And the Sandeep Ghosh, who should have been penalized for that, who should have been held accountable for that, was rewarded with a promotion. Can TMC answer this? They can hoodwink here and there, but like I was mentioning, there is a bigger problem with the attitude of Mamata Banerjee. Why was she begging for time till 18th of April, till 18th of August for the CBI to come in? The same pattern was visible during the Shah Jahan case.
Manojit Mandal, the person who's responsible for the hospital on whose watch this gruesome crime happens, he actually gets another posting and a pretty plum assignment. That instinctively shows that something is terribly amiss. He should have been prosecuted, action should have been taken against him, he should have lost his job, suspended, a serious probe ordered into his actions.
Mr. Rahul, when you are shifting from one question to the other, you should have the guts to listen to the answers. Now I have countered you and some of the panelists on facts. Please rewind those facts and question them first. Did the body was cremated hurriedly? The answer is no. Please transmit that.
So why were the parents told that it's a case of suicide?
simply not chance. This is laughable. You are a senior reporter, not even allow me 10 seconds of time. What is this? I feel pity on you. I'm seriously saying this now. I don't expect this from you. I'm teaching in a very responsible university and I'm making this responsible statement. You need to listen to this. We are all outraged, including the Chief Minister of the state. All of us. This is a horrendous crime. There's no question of defending such crimes. Not even distance is so. But you need to allow us to speak the truth and spread the information for just sake of justice. What I'm saying is this. These particular hospital, chief, the principal, whatever is Sandeep Ghosh or whoever, if he is guilty, let him come under the scanner of CBI. What is the CBI doing for the last 24 hours? Did they interrogate Mr. Sandeep Ghosh? How many people did they interrogate? And for God's sake, how many cases CBI solved in the last 3 years? There were 31 such cases. These questions must also be raised.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to play out a comment from one of the friends of the family, from one of the neighbors of Abhaya. Listen to what she says. Very different from the outrage that the Trinamool representative is voicing on the show, because now, of course, they're outraged. But listen to the lady, the neighbor, as she reveals what really happened when this crime took place, and then compare and contrast that with everything Monojit Mandal and the others in the Trinamool are saying at this moment. Here it is.
रोते हुए मुझे वो लिपटती है और कहती है कि सब कुछ खत्म हो गया। मैंने कहा क्या हुआ? नहीं, मेरी लड़की ने सुसाइड कर दिया है, ये खबर आई है हॉस्पिटल से। मैंने कहा सुसाइड किसने कहा, कैसे? बोले नहीं, उन्होंने कहा कि ये सुसाइड हुआ है। एक पेरेंट्स जिनकी बच्ची 31 इयर्स ओल्ड की ऐसी खत्म हो जाती है, उनको 3 घंटा खड़ा रखा और ये हाथ जोड़ती रही, माँ बाप हाथ जोड़ते रहे, हमें एक बार दिखाओ, हमारी बच्ची का मुंह एक बार दिखाओ। हमको नहीं दिखाया गया। 3 घंटे तक खड़े रहने के बाद ये दोनों हस्बैंड वाइफ अंदर जाते हैं सेमिनार रूम में, और ये पापा अपने डेड बॉडी ऑफ द गर्ल जिसके मुंह में खून था, फोटो खींच के लाके मुझे दिखाते हैं। उन बच्ची का शरीर में कोई कपड़ा नहीं था, पैर दोनों राइट एंगल में मिला गया। राइट एंगल में एक पांव बेड के इस तरफ, एक पांव बेड के इस तरफ मिला गया। जब तक पेल्विक गर्डल नहीं टूटता है, इस तरह 2 पांव को नहीं चीरा जा सकता है। चश्मे को कूटा गया, जिसके वजह से आंखों से खून निकल गया। गले में गला दबाकर मारा गया।
Monojit Mandal, all the outrage that you're expressing, just compare that with what we are hearing from the ground. The parents made to wait for 3 hours, not being allowed into the seminar hall, being told it's a case of suicide. You can beat your chest and express all outrage and allege that there is misinformation. Those who were on the ground at that time are painting a very different picture.
All our heart breaks for this family, for your family, without any shade of doubt. Right? The fact remains that the police were trying to do their job. They did their best till Monday or Tuesday before the case was handed over to the CBI. My limited point is this, that we must look for justice for this girl, and even if whatever the victim's family is saying, I think it's believed to be true, definitely we believe in her cases. The phone number from where these calls went must be shared with the police, might have been already shared with the police. Yeah? And the person who reported about the quote-unquote suicide should be nabbed immediately. It's very simple in the age of technology.
No, but it hasn't been done. That's the point. Now you're sounding chastened, but your original outrage made it seem as if, Swati Chaturvedi wants to come in, because they're making it seem as if it's a deliberate case of politics and misinformation, whereas the victims' relatives, those who were on the ground, their stories really reveal how much apathy there was in the initial response from the administration, Swati.
Rahul, this is so sad that Mr. Mondal here is expressing this co-outrage, claiming the media is misleading, claiming the media is misreporting. What exactly is the media misreported? I mean, they have mishandled this in the worst possible way, from a party which talks about women power, from a party which always plays the woman card. I mean, you have lady MPs of this party, women MPs, who scream hoarse about every time anything of theirs is infringed on. Is their entire women's upliftment and empowerment only for themselves? Absolutely. They cannot speak about this.
Under fire, Mamata Banerjee is now saying that she's going to do a protest. There's word coming in from Kolkata that she will lead a protest march on Saturday and that she's demanding that the CBI must take steps to hang the killer by Sunday. Let's listen for a moment, if we can, to Mamata Banerjee.
এবং যারা এই ব্যাপারটা প্রতিবাদ করছেন রাজনৈতিক চক্রান্তে না গিয়ে রাজনৈতিক ছোবলে কামড় না দিয়ে সঠিক অর্থে ফাঁসি হোক দোষীদের এবং আগামী রবিবারের মধ্যে সিবিআই কে ফাঁসির ব্যবস্থা করতে হবে এবং পুরোপুরি তদন্ত উদ্ঘাটিত করতে হবে, যদিও আমাদের কলকাতা পুলিশ তদন্তের 90% করে দিয়েছে।
For the inaction and the incompetence of the administration, Mamata Banerjee now going on the offensive, demanding that the CBI hang the killer by Sunday, which is clearly not possible because there needs to be a conviction, a case, a prosecution, a hearing. Only after that can a decision be taken. So she's clearly doing this to go on the offensive. Dr. Shreya Shaw, you just heard from your Chief Minister. She's saying she will lead a protest for women's safety on Saturday, and she's demanding that that Sanjoy Roy, the main accused, be hung by Sunday. What do you make of the Chief Minister's latest comment?
We welcome her rally. She can do protest rally, and as many protest rallies, we welcome all protest rallies. And as we have said before, any person of the country, any person of the country is welcome to join our protest as a political person without any political banner or color. So we welcome that she is wanting to do a protest for this heinous crime that has occurred, but we want justice and we do not want to wait till Sunday. We want justice and we want arrest of the culprit or culprits and punishment within 48 hours. Already today we are on the 6th day of protest on the eve of 15th August. I stand here, we all stand here, and we demand justice, and not Sunday but within 48 hours.
Dr. Abhijit Chaudhary, now the West Bengal Chief Minister says she will be leading a march on Saturday. She's demanding that the killer be hanged by Sunday. What do you make of this?
Yeah, Rahul, it's really it's a very unfortunate scenario that these pitiful circumstances in which we lost our sister, our daughter, is turning into a political brickbat scenario. We, as medical fraternity, really did not like this to emerge in this way. We only wanted, and as you could hear from Shreya's voice, that we wanted that the security issues are taken care of locally by the local administration, by the general administration, in the exact design as it should have been. And there is a deep feeling, there is a deep perception amongst the people at large, amongst the doctors who don't have any political bias. Let me tell you very emphatically. It's a common perception that what had been done, and that is what I was telling you, what had been done possibly was avoidable, and what should have been done had not been done. Again, I'm telling you, more sensitivity and more sensible approach was needed. And right now, unfortunately, this is emerging as a very unfortunate political battle, which we don't want as medical fraternity, as common persons of the state, and we want quick justice.
Everyone's saying they want quick justice and they want no politics. That goes as much out to you, Tuhin Sinha, that leave the the West BJP obviously sees in this case the outrage in Kolkata an opportunity to storm into the Trinamool's bastion around South West Bengal in Kolkata. Is that a part of what is at play? that you've kind of made ingress in the north. You've been
come
able
on,
to
I
move
think,
the
Rahul,
bandwagon
the
down,
issue-
and now you think that if there is adequate outrage there, as there was in Sandesh Khali, you can benefit from this potentially?
No, I don't think it's a political issue at all for us. The fact is, if you just go by the facts of the case, never has such a brazen attempt been made by the Chief Minister herself to shield the real culprits and to tamper with evidence. I mean, it's too rich of them to.
No, but
to
you said, for
suddenly
example, that the Chief Minister's associates are involved. Your leaders have been tweeting this. I mean, how do you know that?
No, I'm saying that if a doctor who has conducted the autopsy says that more than one person is involved, why would for the first few days the Kolkata police insist on just one person, which is Sanjoy Roy? The fact is there is a pattern. Like I was mentioning before, there is a pattern. The way she was pleading, if she was begging for time till 18th August before CBI steps in, if she was indeed outraged, if she was indeed upset, she should have been happy handing over the case to CBI on the first day itself. Why would you want to buy time for a certain number of days unless you wanted certain, the golden hour post the incident becomes very important from the point of view of gathering information, from the point of view of gathering evidence.
Subarna Goswami, now we're hearing the West
now,
Bengal Chief Minister say she will lead a protest on Sunday. She wants the culprit hanged by, she will lead a protest on Sunday. She wants the culprit hanged by, she'll lead a protest on Saturday and she wants the culprit hanged on Sunday.
She knows very well, Honorable Chief Minister knows very well that it is not possible, it is impractical. But what Mr. Mondal said, that is very intriguing. It's not a different building. The same building is the same, just at the crime scene, the renovation work is going on. He is spreading information in the media, pending his government here. Actually, questions were raised regarding the role of the college authority and the police. Nobody, nobody blamed the government at first, but the government is trying to, replace just place the principal to another premier college of the same city, few kilometers away, and they turned a blind eye to all the misdeeds he has committed in last 4 years, and that principal should have been interrogated meanwhile.
Oh, but absolutely. Instead of being reinstated in another position.
No other interrogation. The police reported the relatives of the victim, and whatever we could not believe that the parents reported us that some police official offered a huge lump sum amount of money to the victim's mother just before the cremation of the victim to hush up the whole things.
Okay, all this needs to be probed, whether money was offered to the parents or whether this is part of a political conspiracy. Is this misinformation? Is this absolutely correct? All this needs to be probed fairly with somebody who's not looking to try and bury this case and try and hush matters up. That, I think, is most important. We'll track the students' protest very carefully. I want to thank our guests for joining us this evening and through the day tomorrow. Our reporters will be on the ground in Kolkata and in different cities where these midnight protests claiming the night protests are going to be organized. We'll bring those live for you here on India Today TV. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has hit out at the opposition for its silence in the attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh. The UP CM says this selective silence is a result of vote bank politics. He also says that what happened during partition in Pakistan is now being repeated in Bangladesh.
उस समय 10 लाख हिंदू एक साथ काटे गए थे, हिंदू सिख सभी थे एक साथ काटे गए थे. उसी प्रकार की त्रासदी का दृश्य आज भी हम सबके सामने है.
Strong words from Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath recounting horrors of partition. 10 lakh Hindus and Sikhs were massacred during partition that Yogi Adityanath blamed on vested political interest that sacrificed 1 million lives at the altar of political gains.
केन प्रकारेण सत्ता प्राप्त होनी चाहिए, इसके लिए चाहे देश को ही दांव पे क्यों न लगाना पड़े, और यही तो हुआ. यही 1947 में भी हुआ और 1947 के बाद भी लगातार यही हो रहा है. जब भी इन लोगों के हाथों में सत्ता आई, इन्होंने देश की कीमत पर राजनीति की।
Yogi Adityanath compared the targeting of Hindus in Bangladesh today to a repeat of the horrors of partition, blaming the same mindset for the killing of Hindus, Buddhists and other minorities, and the targeting of their temples, homes and businesses. He insisted division of the country on religious lines was alien to the ethos and culture of the region, and Pakistan would either merge with India or fail to exist as an entity.
वही तो पूर्वी पाकिस्तान कहा जाने वाला आज का बांग्लादेश में वही तो हो रहा है। उस समय 10 लाख हिंदू एक साथ काटे गए थे, हिंदू सिख सभी थे, एक साथ काटे गए थे। और आज भी वही आगजनी, वही तोड़फोड़, वही लूटपाट, बहन और बेटियों के साथ वही अत्याचार, उसी प्रकार की त्रासदी का दृश्य आज भी हम सबके सामने है।
Speaking in Lucknow on the eve of the Independence Day, the Chief Minister blamed vested political interest and vote bank politics behind the silence of political parties and some intellectuals, even today, at the atrocities against minorities, both in Bangladesh and in Pakistan.
1.5 करोड़ हिंदू किस तरीके से बांग्लादेश के अंदर आज चिल्ला चिल्ला करके अपने आप को, अपनी अस्मिता को बचाने के लिए गुहार लगा रहे हैं, और दुनिया के मुंह सिले हुए, भारत के अंदर भी इनके मुंह सिले हुए एक भी शब्द इनका नहीं निकल रहा है, क्योंकि उनको भय है कि अगर इन निरीह कमजोर लोगों के इस पक्ष में इन्होंने आवाज निकाली तो इनका वोट बैंक खिसक जाएगा।
He warned of a repeat of the horrors if lessons are not learnt from mistakes of the past. He blamed the opposition India Alliance bloc in general and the Congress in particular for the rise of radical Islamist terror from partition to the current situation in Bangladesh. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the Newstrack tonight. Wish you all a very happy Independence Day. Hope it's joyous, full of good health, happiness and also safety for all citizens. Thank you very much. Goodbye.